Hi, Serve205 project coordinators. This is going to be a quick tutorial to guide you through submitting your first service project on BlazerPulse. To get started, log into BlazerPulse with your student ID, and then you're going to want to navigate to your dashboard. Go to your profile in the top right corner and click on your dashboard. Once you do so, you'll see any groups that you've joined through BlazerPulse, and you're going to want to click on Serve205. Once you're in the Serve205 main page, you're going to see a blue button on the right-hand side which says Submit Project. This is the button that you're going to need to use to submit the details for your service event. In the name box, we want you to put Serve205 hyphen the name of your SDG, so that's your Sustainable Development Goal, and then your community agency. So for example, if you're going to the community kitchens, you would list that there. The type will remain a volunteer opportunity, but you're going to update single day to random dates. The administrator, this is where you're going to want to type the name of the project coordinator who will be responsible for checking in volunteers on the app the day of your service event. This person will also have access to message your volunteers that have registered for service. So again, decide amongst your group who is going to be the designated administrator amongst the project coordinators. The privacy level will be remaining at public. And then your start address will be wherever you want the volunteers to meet you. So if they're meeting you on campus, you need to give the specifics as to where they will meet you on campus. If they're meeting you at the service destination, then you need to give the specifics for the service site. It does give you an opportunity to add address notes. This is where you could say, for example, we're meeting at Community Kitchens. Please meet in the parking lot and we will walk in together. I will be wearing a Serve205 t-shirt. So you can share the additional details there. If you're meeting on campus, you want to make sure the end address is shared, and that would be the address of the community agency. However, if you're only meeting at the community agency, you need no end address. The event description is equally as important. That is where you're going to put all details for the volunteer. So this is what they're going to be able to read when they are looking at these opportunities and considering registering to volunteer. So make sure that you're putting a description of the volunteer experience alongside details about parking, as well as any information about inclement weather and the process in which you will notify them if the event is canceled. This should be very specific and as detailed as possible. You will scroll down and answer the additional Serve205 provided questions. These are very similar to what you experienced on your Engage form, and this allows your executive board to know that you have thoroughly thought through all aspects of your project. Be sure to include the contact information for your community agency partner. That is the person that you've been working with at the agency to plan this service event. It's important that we know who they are, so hopefully we can continue working with them and collaborate with them in the future. We want to ensure that you've thought of a weather plan, as well as that you have asked your community agency if there are opportunities available for any student volunteers who may have a physical disability. Please indicate that here. If they have an additional waiver, you can also upload that here so that we're able to share that with the volunteers prior to service. Lastly, we want you to provide us with the information that you've shared in the event description about parking. We want to, again, ensure that you've been thorough and thought this through. You're going to save and continue and go to the next page. In order for Serve205 to establish a brand on campus, you will not need to edit the current event logo or the cover image. That is not an option to edit. Save and continue. And last but certainly not least, you're going to add the dates of your service project. So you go to the right corner, click the blue box to add your first date. When you do so, you need to pick the time that it's going to start for the volunteer. So if they are meeting you to start the event and y'all are walking to service together, what is the time they are meeting you? Or if they're going straight there, what time should they arrive? You're going to give additional information here, so maybe this is the community agency, and then the number of volunteers. You want to include your project coordinators in this number. So if you need 5 volunteers and you have 3 project coordinators, list a total of 8 participants needed. It will be important that every project coordinator registers for service yourself. So 1, you can explain the process to a student, but 2, so we can track your impact in BlazerPulse. You will leave the lock code blank. Click Add, and that is it. After that, you're going to add each date. So if you know your dates for the entire semester, add every one of them here. If some of those aren't confirmed, leave it until you are confirmed that we are ready to serve at that location. Once it's posted, students can register. So we don't want students to register for an event that has yet to be confirmed. List them all, and once you're finished, you'll click the blue Publish button. Once you've done so, that's going to notify me that you have submitted your project. I'm going to review and then officially publish it for registration. The person that was listed as the primary administrator, when you type that in on the initial project submission page, will have access to manage the event when they log in to BlazerPulse. This will enable whoever that project coordinator is to message the volunteers who have registered. They will come to this view, and then they will go down to registrations and click Message Registrants to send any kind of email notification. After that, you can go back to the Serve205 homepage, and you will be able to see a link that you can share with friends, organization members, students that you meet during tabling to spread the word about volunteer experiences that we have available through BlazerPulse that they can register for. And that's the end of this tutorial. If you have any questions or you need support in posting your service project, do not hesitate to touch base. We are happy to help and want to make sure that you have a positive experience as a project coordinator and that we're able to recruit volunteers through the BlazerPulse platform.